Every summerers.
Top 100.
Every summerers.
Top 100.
He's got a voice that's really the bomb. He'll make a choice that'll aggravate Tom. I hate to spoil it, but when all's said and done, Merchant of Venus gonna be number one.
Every summerers.
Top 100.
Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. And now, numbers 30 through 21. Beethoven.
Number 30. Agricola.
Number 30 is Agricola, which has fallen a few spaces. This was my number 10 a couple years ago. It just doesn't hit the table quite as often as it used to. Maybe everyone's playing Caverna at this point. I don't know. In Agricola, you're a farmer and you're trying to expand your farm and raise animals and get different technology to make your job a little bit easier. I like the theme. It works. A lot of things connect well. You're placing workers, trying to grow your family. I like it a lot. And I got the little animeeples to make it just a little bit nicer, bling it out just a little bit. It's a heavy box. There's a lot in here, lots of possibilities. You could just work your way through this forever. There are expansions. The Farmers of the Moor expansion, not necessary, I don't think. I think there's plenty to play with right here. It's still a fantastic game. My number 30, Agricola.
29. Concordia.
I'm empty-handed for number 29. That's because my group owns the game Concordia. It's a game from Mac Gertz. And you are spreading out around the board, and you're sort of increasing your presence in various areas of the board. And there are all these cards that you have starting out in your hand. You start with a whole hand of them. And these are the actions you have available to you. Each turn, you're going to play one of these cards. And your hand starts to dwindle. And each of these cards is a different action that's going to allow you to do something moving around the board and then increasing your presence there, or drafting cards from the center, collecting resources, that sort of thing. Eventually you're going to run out, and you have to play one of these cards, or you can play it well before you run out. Play a card to essentially skip your turn, collect all of those cards back into your hand. Also, you can draft more cards that give you other versions, maybe more powerful versions of those original actions you have in your hand. So now you have more of those in your hand, and those also determine what you will score at the end of the game. So you may have a particular card that helps you spread out onto the board, move your guys around, and you'll be given some sort of reward related to that at the end. So you can sort of push in a certain direction, get points for certain things, while collecting certain actions into your deck. It has a bit of a deck builder concept to it, but also a similar rondel mechanic without using an actual rondel, which Mac Gertz is often used for. Very interesting game, and one I enjoy playing with the group. My number 29, Concordia.
28. Boat. Robot Battle Arena. Dun dun dun.
Number 28 is a new addition to the list, and that is Volt, Robot Battle Arena by Emerson Matsuuchi and Nazca Games. At first, when I saw this, I thought it was just a sort of a dumbed down, not dumbed down, but a distilled Robo Rally. But this has its own animal here. You've got a robot, and you have an arena, and every round there will be a particular spot in that arena that if somebody's standing on it at the end of the round, you'll score points. So obviously everyone's going to converge onto that arena. However, there is also points to be gained by knocking out other players. So if you hang back and fire your weapons at the people who are going to be in that zone, well, you may hit them and blow them up and score points that way. But if they know you're going to do that, they might stay back, and then nobody gets shot. All of this is accomplished through the use of these dice, but you don't roll the dice. You actually select what you want to do with those dice, and it's almost like a little controller that you're moving your robot around. And so you may put the 2 die on up to move your guy 2 spaces up. But then you also have a weapons array, and you can fire your weapons there, and you're selecting your actions, programming 3 things that your robot's going to do on any particular round. And you're scoring points. And first player to get, I think, 5 points wins. There's a bunch of special abilities, special tools you can draft at the beginning in lots of different ways to make the game that much crazier. But even in its basic version, Volt has a lot to offer. It's a really neat game. And I'm looking forward to seeing what this system is going to do in the future. Great game. Worth a look. If you like Robo Rally, Volt, my number 28.
27. Age of Steam.
I am once again empty-handed for my number 27. That's because my group owns Age of Steam. I don't own Age of Steam. I have Railways of the World, which I could hold up and go, Railways of the World. It's a nice addition as well. There are several games that use Martin Wallace's system here. And that's Age of Steam, Steam, and Railways of the World. I like how crunchy Age of Steam is. I like how getting to a profitable situation is an accomplishment to be proud of. If I make it to that point, yes, that's sort of my alternate victory condition. Even if I don't win the game, as long as I'm making money by the end. Woo, good job. It's a great route building game. You've got cubes all over the board and you're trying to get them to the locations they want to go to. You're spending money to build track and routes everywhere and trying to leave your options open so that at the end of the game you have those 5 and 6 point routes to travel around at the end. And it's tricky. It's hard. Steam is starting to win me over. It's still a very nice addition of the whole thing, but I still have to give the nod to Age of Steam. My number 27.
26. Firefly.
Alright, so remember when we were talking about Merchant of Venus, the new version, and how the whole adventurous aspect of spacefaring pickup and deliver was done a little better by somebody else? This is it. Gale Force 9's Firefly the game is a terrific adventure, even if you aren't a fan of Firefly the TV show. It captures that adventurous nature of this style of game very, very well. Now, if you're a fan of Firefly the TV show, this captures it terrifically. You're flying around space and you're taking jobs. It has an element of pick up and deliver, but there's also sort of an adventuring aspect where you may just fly somewhere and risk a lot. You're building up your crew, building up your equipment, and trying to earn money, turn a profit, while staying alive in the verse. Now here's how much I like this game. This is the latest expansion. I wasn't planning to purchase this at Gen Con most recently, but I said, oh, well, I guess I'll get this. And then I got a few more extra ships. That one's purple, of course. Well, I had the green one was going to be lonely if I didn't get that. And oh, there were these dice. I had to get those too. And oh man, check this out. Vinyl map of the whole thing that contains all the expansions. I mean, how can you turn this down? Firefly is a blast to play, especially if you're a fan of the TV show, but even if you're not, a great adventuring aspect of the pick up and deliver spacefaring game. Firefly.
Robinson Crusoe.
I swear, as we get higher up on this list, these boxes get heavier. Robinson Crusoe is number 25. We've already discussed how much I love cooperative games. This one is difficult. You have danger everywhere. You can be just trying to build a shovel and chop your own hand off. This risk versus reward concept that I could do something and do it well and spend the entire day doing it. But while I'm busy making that shovel, wild animals are going to eat me whole, or I'm not going to build a shelter that is going to keep the whole group safe and warm for the rest of the game. So you have to take risks if you really want to do well, if you want to have a chance of surviving, but taking those risks is how you get hurt or eaten or, I don't know, have your food destroyed. It's a tough, punishing game, and I still have yet to win it, but it's very well designed, a lovely team exercise, and a neat system that really fascinates me. And one of these days I'll win. Robinson Crusoe.
Jennifer Horn. Imperial.
More love here for designer Mac Gertz. Number 24 is Imperial. This is a game of, I guess it's of war profiteering. You are investing in various nation states as they build up and sort of attack each other. It's a rondel game, so you're picking actions from this rondel, and you can only move so far around the rondel without really investing your own money. The goal is money at the end of the game, and you do this by building up, taking control of these countries through the purchase of stocks, or whoever has the most stock in a country gets to control that country, and building them up and sort of cashing out and earning bonuses for building up that country. Adding money into the coffers, paying out dividends to your stockholders and to yourself, obviously, and trying to run away with the most money at the end by building up the stock footprint of these different countries. It's a tricky game to get a hold of, and it's possible to go a certain portion of it without doing anything, not without being in control of any of these countries, but that can be a viable strategy if you've invested, if you've diversified your investments enough. It's an investment game, an area control game, a tricky game, but a good game. My number 24, Imperial.
Zaya. Legends of a Drift System.
Number 23 is Zaya, Legends of a Drift System. This is the first production for Far Off Games and Cody Miller. It's a space-faring game, almost a space sandbox game. There's an aspect of pick up and deliver, which I certainly enjoy, but it has a random map setup. So sometimes the pick up and deliver aspect is very difficult. You may have to travel all over the place in the map to do what you want. So you may turn to piracy, because you can also earn points for blowing other ships up or performing missions in different areas of the board. There are, for each design of ship in the game, there's a separate sculpt, a separate mold, little miniature. There are different powers for each of these ships, and when you upgrade from a level 1 ship to a level 2 ship, you keep the powers of the level 1 ship, and then level 3 is going to have both the level 3 power and then the 2 and the 1 power, so you can sort of build this juggernaut as you attempt to get points faster than your opponents. The metal coins in the game, the miniatures in the game, just the quality of the whole thing is amazing. It's stellar and a terrific first entry into the industry for Far Off Games, and I'm looking forward to see what they do next. And it's a really fun game. It's tricky to stay ahead of the curve when your opponent suddenly gets a railgun and can shoot you out of the sky. You just stay away from them. There's also NPC characters that fly around, a police escort, there's a pirate ship that flies around and tries to take your stuff. Zaya, Legends of a Drift System. It's, I think, just starting to go into its second print run where it's easier to get. I think if you didn't get it for the Kickstarter, it was difficult to find, but it should be easier soon, and it's worth a look. Zaya. My number 23.
22. Spectre Ops.
Number 22 is A Box of Tension. Spectre Ops is a hide-and-seek game. You've got one player who is playing the agent, and everybody else is hunters. They are trying to find that agent, hiding somewhere on the board, trying to achieve objectives, essentially tag different points on the board. And depending on how many players you have, those objectives may be secret, they may be open. There may be a traitor in the midst. One of the other 4 players in a 5-player game is working for the agent and can remain hidden and secret for most of the game. So there's a lot of suspicion and second guessing, double guessing. Players are trying to cover sections of the board to be able to see where the other guy's hiding, but there's special equipment that the agent can use to get past everybody. It is tense. And for some reason, this works for me while many other hidden movement games don't. And I've played Nuns on the Run, I've played Ninja, which I enjoyed, but not this much. Something about this one really clicks. I think it's the freedom of movement offered to both sides, and the different equipment types, the ease of play. It is a simple game to pick up. Just hide or find, hide or seek, but doing it well really gets the heart pumping, the sweat going. It's just a fantastic game, and it's an experience that should be experienced. My number 22, Spectre Ops, from Plaid Hat Games and Nazca Games.
21. Logistico.
My number 21 is a game I will continue to defend to the ends of the earth, and that's Logistico. This is a pick up and deliver game in which you've got these 5 islands. Here we go. 5 islands, and you are taking your vehicles around these islands, picking up cubes of a color and trying to drop them off in locations with a disc of that same color. You've got a boat, you've got a plane, you've got a car, and you're driving around trying to use these efficiently, pass things off. You get charged money for holding these cubes, but you make money as the game progresses, and the payoff gets higher and higher as you go. So there is sort of an incentive to hang on to a cube, maybe for a turn or two. It's a very pure efficiency engine pick up and deliver game. And it's one that if you, say, went to Essen, you may be able to get pretty inexpensively. It's worth it. It's a great game. It's a fun version of pick up and deliver. And it's got these cool little airplanes and boats and cars. Logistico, number 21.
We hope you enjoyed these classics of gaming. See you next time. Beethoven.
Every summer is
Top 100.
He's got a voice that's really the bomb. He'll make a choice that'll aggravate Tom. I hate to spoil it, but when all's said and done, Merchant of Venus gonna be number 1.
every summer is
Top 100.